Guys, we just got shocking news. Absolutely shocking news. Grace has never seen Elf, and she's never seen Home Alone.
I tried to watch Home Alone this year, but I didn't like it.
Tried to? What?
I just had to stop. It was making me really sad.
At what
point?
Got
left.
Yeah.
I was getting really sad. I had to leave.
Every movie has a sad point. You just keep watching them.
I know.
Grace, get over yourself.
So I'll try to be better. I have a few days left.
I don't really mess with Home Alone either, if I'm being honest.
It's like kind of
what?
sad.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Elf, though.
Elf. You have to watch Elf. There's so many jokes that people make
is
that
that
are
like
from
the
Elf.
number one?
Yeah.
Is that, do you think the
number one Christmas movie?
No, one of Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life.
Never seen that either.
Frosty the Snowman
Never seen
cartoon
that
version.
Thank you.
It's so good.
What is my
You've never
issue?
seen that?
No.
Do you hate Christmas?
I guess
It's just in Grace
Maybe
hates
Grace.
I
Christmas.
watched The Grinch for the first time last year.
What the heck? What happened? Grace was actually focused on Jesus. That's what happened.
Yeah, guys. I have a really spiritual
Wait,
Christmas,
okay,
so-
but on a totally different topic,
So true.
Grace has some important news.
Okay, so listen.
Lots of important news.
So that's something that now you are not liking me for. So I'm asking a favor to people that are shaming me. It's fine, whatever. But Garrett, the boy that moved in with my family when I was growing up, and now he plays football. He plays on the Denver Broncos. Go Broncos!
Looking good. Looking very good right now.
Yeah, so true. He got nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year, which is pretty much, if you don't know anything about football, each team selects a player that they feel like is the most involved in service in the community and like making the biggest difference for the community, which is like really, really tender and like
It's
really
so
awesome.
cool that he got voted 2 years straight that he's
Yeah.
got voted for that for his team.
Yeah,
which
is
awesome.
crazy. Like he's just like, he is like, that is one of his biggest priorities. It's just like giving back. And voting ends January 5th, and you can vote 10 times a day, everyone. So we're just mostly asking everyone to just vote for him because
there's a winner for the team, but what we're voting for right now is winner of the league. So we want him to win for the league.
In the whole
Vote
NFL.
for Garrett.
Walter Payton Man of the Year. So vote for Garrett. His name's Garrett Bowles. He plays tackle on the Denver Broncos.
All
So
you have
if
to
just
search is Walter Payton voting.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what I did and I found it.
Find him. Garrett Bowles, tackle, Broncos. You guys are the best. We love you. You're perfect. Welcome to This Is Kingdom. I will watch The Grinch, okay? No, I watched it. I'll watch out.
Yes.
This is Grace.
This is Talon.
This is TJ.
This is Hollis.
And this week we're talking about Adorned with the Virtue of Temperance. Fun that has the word adorned. Isn't that a Christmas word?
So true.
We didn't even set that up,
That
but
is a
that was
Christmas
great.
word.
By other soares. TJ, take it away, brother.
Okay, I just love that this talk was so focused on temperance. I feel like it's a Christ-like attribute that could be kind of like slept on sometimes. Like we don't talk about it a lot.
So true.
And when I think of temperance and when I listen to the talk, I thought of this old proverb or quote that goes, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener in a war. And that's what I feel like temperance is all about. It's when someone can be a monster, like they can go all out and have crazy influence and like just destroy everything, but they choose to build quietly. They choose to be humble. They choose to lift people. They choose to strengthen people around them. And I was thinking about examples of men who are temperate in my life. And I was thinking of Garrett, just big beast, but he's also a teddy bear and so much love and just an awesome, really good dude. I think of Chad Lewis, he's actually a stake president around where we used to live, but he was a big NFL
Fitting, I'm
star.
wearing an Eagle shirt today. Go
Right,
Birds, let's go.
baby.
Big Eagles guy.
And I remember something from a book that he wrote where he would listen to a primary song before the game. And I'm just like, that's temperance right there, bro. I mean, you're about to go out and do this and you listen to a primary song. I know we got the story with Garrett too with the children's song, Bringing in the Spirit. It's awesome. And then most of all, I think of my dad, and it's honestly, he's the one that's obviously had the impact on me the most. And it's so cool to see his temperance and his steadiness and his humility like grow over time. Like I remember when my younger siblings were getting older, I saw it grow a ton in him. And when we had Malia and just all of us in our family dynamic, I saw the temperance grow with him. When he became a bishop, I saw temperance grow. And then just all these other stages, I've seen it grow. And I just look up to him so much in that way. And something I want to say about temperance is those who embody temperance, they stand out. And it's not because they're trying to stand out. It's because the light of Jesus and Jesus's temperance shines through them in a very powerful way. And I definitely think it's an attribute that we want to focus on more, and that we should be striving to build.
I felt the same way, that it's not really something we talk about a lot. But the more that I study this talk, I'm like, we should talk about this more. Like, this is such a good attribute to have. And I love your examples, TJ, because I think sometimes we think of temperance as a lack of power or a lack of passion. But the more that I've studied it, I've realized that it's the ultimate power to be able to control the way that you react. A lack of temperance to me is reactivity. Anything that happens, you're just reacting fast and you don't really control the way that you react. It's just something happens and then you automatically react. You don't actually have power if you're doing that. But I think temperance is, it doesn't matter what happens around you. It doesn't matter how you're treated. You're able to respond in a controlled manner. You're able to respond with love when maybe people aren't giving you that. You're able to respond with patience when maybe you had valid reason to not be patient. And the more that I've studied this, I'm like, I so badly want to be this kind of man, that when things get crazy around me or people say things or things just go different than I want to, which happens every day, you're going to have something that could set you off. I want to be the kind of person that's slow to react, that assumes the best in people, that doesn't get critical, doesn't get judgmental, but is just slow to assume and just looks for the best in people, assumes the best, is quick to love. I think that's what temperance is.
I love that. We've talked about this before, but it reminds me of one of my favorite books in the world. It's called Man's Search for Meaning.
Such a good book.
And in that quote, it talks about stimulus and response of things that happen in our life and how we respond to them. And society thinks once something happens, you have to react. That's how it is. But the author of this book talks about there's this sacred space in the middle of stimulus and response where you choose how to react. And I'm a firm believer that that sacred space in the middle gets bigger, the better our relationship with Christ. The closer we are to God, that space in the middle of how we choose to react becomes bigger. So when things happen in our life and things naturally happen, circumstances happen, we can choose how to respond in that moment. We can be slow to respond. We don't have to react instantly to everything happening in our life and feel like society controls us. Elder Ballard, I remember on my mission, I was feeling down and someone slid me this quote. He's like, "Hey, Elder Hunt, read this." And I'm like, "Okay." And the quote in front of me said, "Be a creator of circumstance, not a creature of circumstance." I'm like, whoa. Okay, I'm not going to just be a creature and someone who lets society and circumstance control me, but I'm the one who can create my reaction. I'm the one who can choose how to respond to things around me.
Martin Luther King is quoted, and this is the line that I just like, it's a line that I never want to forget. I want to hang it on my mirror. I want to write it on a sticky note in my car. It's so good. Martin Luther King once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." And I immediately was trying to think, to be honest, I was trying to think of times in my life when I've done that, and I was coming up short. Okay, I don't have great temperance.
It's hard.
But then I started thinking about Jesus, and the first situation that I thought of was the woman that's caught in adultery.
Yeah, I've been thinking this one so much.
Yeah,
it's such a good example.
It embodies temperance. And what happens is all these people drag this woman who's caught in the act of adultery, just right in the mess of the situation, drags her in front of Jesus. Everyone's there, everyone's standing, everyone's waiting for his response. Everyone's angry, everyone's fired up. It is fuming with tension. And Jesus is, instead of like being like, okay, everyone's expecting a response from me, I need to calm the crowd, I need to figure out what to do in this moment, Jesus gets down and he draws in the sand. That was his first instinct, was to pause. And we don't know what he wrote. We don't know what he drew. And people like love to speculate about that. But to me, that becomes irrelevant. I just don't think it matters. What I think really matters is him showing us you do not have to act rashly. You can pause. Even when there's pressure, even when other people are there staring and expecting something of you, you don't owe them a response. You can just pause and draw in the sand. And then I started thinking if I could think of more. And I thought of Jesus and his relationship with Peter and how at the very end, right before Jesus dies, Peter denies him 3 times. And then obviously Jesus comes back from the dead, spoiler, and he comes back. And then all of a sudden Peter's faced with this moment where he's got to be thinking like, what's Jesus going to say to me? I just betrayed him. We were best friends, and now he probably hates me. I really messed this up. I made the mistake. I did something wrong. I hurt the friendship. Jesus so easily could have been angry, hurt, offended, furious at Peter. Honestly, probably wanted to ignore him. And instead, what happens is Jesus sits at the beach and cooks breakfast. And that was his first move, is that Peter came back and Jesus was just cooking breakfast. And I think that to me, what temperance means is pausing. Temperance to me is a choice. That is 100% a choice. And I think the thing that we need to remember about that choice is you do not need to be in a hurry to make it.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to shout out to Hollis. I actually think he's one of the most temperate people that I know. I've been in so many different situations when something comes up or someone says something that is honestly offensive or not true. And I've just seen Hollis respond with so much control. And that's what it is. It is you're making a choice. You're being an agent, right? You're not being told how to act. You're choosing how to act. So I want to hear your thoughts of how to do this well. But that's ever since I've been studying this topic, I've been thinking so much of, I've actually been realizing how much temperance I lack. And I've seen all these circumstances. I'm like, oh, dang, I was defensive. Dang, I was critical. And so I've been like, how do I develop this? And then I listened to this sermon that I just loved that talked about whatever you're filled with when you're squeezed, that's what will come out. And the more that I've thought about that, I've been thinking of what am I filling my mind and my heart with? And I think if you spend your time around a lot of critical or negative or judgmental people, that's what you're filling yourself with. And when you're squeezed by life, that's probably what's going to come out. Or if you're watching a lot of media that's judgmental or rude or just, you know what I mean, that's filling you with that, that's what will naturally come out of you. Or if you start filling yourself more and more with the word of God, with uplifting things, if you're really, really intentional about the people that you surround yourself with and the people that you listen to on media, that's going to fill you. And then when you're squeezed by life, by situations, by things that happen around you, that's what's going to come out of you.
Okay, this is all reminding me of something. I want to be a big science guy right now, a big nerd guy. But there's this stat. I was like, this has to be like, there's so many people that just react instantly. This has to be something that's based. And I feel like so many of us feel bad because we react. We can all think of times where there are situations and circumstances where we wish we could have taken back. And I was reading this study and I put it here and it says, cognitive science estimates that 88% of daily thoughts, judgments, and behaviors are automatic.
That's insane.
Driven by habit, emotion, pattern recognition, and stress responses. So our brain literally runs on autopilot when things happen in our life all the time. And being temperate and having temperance is literally just 5 to 10 times a day choosing how to react, having that choice. And when you do that, you're literally overcoming the natural man. You're becoming closer to Christ. You're being more like Jesus and you're against the norm, which I think is so cool. So for everyone listening to, I know there are times where it's so hard, but knowing that you have the choice and knowing that it's automatic, I think can be really empowering.
Yeah, my practical thing that comes to mind is just literally, and it ties to with the story that Grace shared, but just literally just slowing down and not needing to do something right in the moment, but just sometimes just pausing. I'm just thinking about with Titan, sometimes I've been just, the lack of temperance has been coming up for me a lot. And the times when I'm able to respond with temperance and respond with more love and presence is, I think, 2 things. One is just not doing a quick reaction, just literally like taking a breath or taking a time out and then making a good decision. And the second thing is actually feeding my mind and trying to learn new ways that are effective ways to respond in certain situations. It's almost like the practice and getting in the reps and running the drills so that when you're in the game, you know, oh, instead of just reacting crazy, here's a research-based tool or tactic or thing that you can say to go to their level and to calm down. And so those 2 things have been really big for me, slowing down and then learning more effective things to do.
We just want to challenge all of you. I think this is such a core attribute of disciples, to be temperate. And I think we live in such a reactive world. And I think God's challenging us to be different, live differently, be a temperate person.
Be near me, Lord Jesus. I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in thy tender care and fit us for heaven